All right, so today's video, we have a Silver Mercy. Now, a couple questions this Mercy has this game. One, could they have done anything to help carry this game because their tank refused to mirror the Mauga? So keep in mind, Mauga versus Mauga could be a good matchup. At the same time, you can still win in those non-mirror matchups. If it was Mauga versus Mauga and you didn't have an Ana, etc., like there's a bunch of different variables there. That was the first question. Second question is, are they an elo hell or are they a silver player? They want to know, should they be out of silver or are they just stuck? We'll find out in this video. Sub to the YouTube if you haven't, seriously, because then you know when my videos go live. Then the videos get more views, and then you're like, whoa. I'm ready. Let's see how this goes.
2, 1.
The other team is running Mauga, Mercy, Kiriko, Reaper, May versus Doom, Echo, Mercy, Soldier, Kiriko. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like your comp's pretty good against this. Zing, thanks for the tier 1. Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you. Like, already, that like their Mauga isn't gonna really have like the best. Like, their Mauga does not have a comp that screams your team needs to go Mauga. Look at it that way. That's how I see this right now. You have an Echo. Your Echo's good against the Reaper and the May. And you have a Ramatra who's going to do okay. Right? Is this console? I don't know. It might be PC. I think PC. Let me double check. PC. Yes, it's PC. I'm just glad everybody got across the Rialto Bridge there. You know what, chat? You know what I have to say to that, by the way? First of all, looks like I paused at the perfect time because I don't know what's going on over here. But we're about to see something. I guess we'll find out in a second. Yep, there we go. It's just like that. Saw that coming. Yep. They must have went off the map on purpose, the Ramatra. I'll watch, though, but I think the Ramatra just went off the map, yeah. They did it on purpose. It was just a reset. It's good to reset like that sometimes. I'm going to show you something in a second, because I've seen chat mention the Mercy not, like, flying up into the air constantly. But I want you to see something. What is going to be more concerning at this point for the team? The Mercy who plays more on the ground, or the floor Echo we've seen half the time? You know what I mean? Like... Granted, I will say one thing. A pocketed Echo is, like, really, really, really strong. So, you've kind of hard focused on keeping your tank up a lot during that. But I think at a certain point, you need to kind of trust that your Kiriko can keep up your Ramatra, and that your Ramatra can understand not to run into their team. Because that Echo should absolutely farm the other team's DPS line based off of just what they have. I'm just saying. I mean, they fell off the map because that's 3 people off the Rialto Bridge so far. Oh, no. I mean, it happened because they lost their ultimate and they just fell off the map. Like, there was other... Okay, here we go. I'm telling you, Rialto's always the map that does that. Watch. Yeah, I gotta pause for a second, because I want to discuss this thing that happens a lot in Overwatch. And I think this is very much based off of, like, different ranks and how they play. But there's a part of me that wants to say, hey, like, if you go pocket your Echo right now, your team is going to have a good time. All right? Straight up. I'm saying, like, I'm going back to when they had an Echo. I know they don't have an Echo now, but I wanted to pause now before we got away from the, like, you know what I'm saying? Before the Echo just swapped before. We're going back a little bit on the discussion. Ignore the part that there's no Echo right now. We're going on the discussion of, like, when there was an Echo. At the same time, I know that also requires your tank to know how to play around corners. So what happens is there's this tendency, also, this is a really cool Mercy skin. I want to point that out. It's a zombie Mercy. There becomes this tendency to where, because a tank doesn't work on their positioning in some ranks, like bronze, silver, the Mercy feels more obligated to have to just sit there and just pocket the tank, right? Half of me wants to be like, okay, go heal your Echo should be fine, but then their Echo is playing a floor Echo, right? And then I'm like, well, you have a Bastion there, maybe damage boost the Bastion, but then you watch their tank, and their tank just face tanks in hopes that they're gonna survive the whole time. So it's like this whole whirlwind of, like, I want to tell the Mercy to go pocket, like, the 2 DPS a little bit more with damage boost, because that will, the Bastion damage boosted will absolutely roll the Mauga. But if their tank just plays way too aggressive and falls over, it won't matter because you'll be down in numbers. So I have to see kind of where that balance goes. But yeah, I'm seeing that so far. To your initial question, though, did your Mauga have to switch? Or did your Ramatra have to switch Mauga? Absolutely not. I do not think so. I really don't think so. I am not seeing a situation here. Like, there's this whole discussion about Mauga where Mauga is a good hero, right? But, like, if you're not running the Ana comp with Mauga and you have a hero comp like Bastion and you can damage boost the Bastion, that Mauga is going to have zero fun with the current team comp. Zero fun. Oh, nice. They stopped the ult. I don't mind the res. Just be careful of where you res at. And with your positioning. Nice job. Good cleanse. That EMP wasn't ideal, but I'm okay with it because you at least can win the team fight. Your Ramatra's having fun. Mauga should always... Well, Mauga's getting nerfed soon, so I don't think it's going to be any Maugas having fun soon. So... watching. Going back and forth there with the movement. There you go. That's what I'm saying. Like, you want to be careful of, like, your position on that. So, here's what I've noticed from your gameplay so far. I really think what's going to benefit you the most right now is just understanding, like, the priority that you want to heal somebody or damage boost somebody. That's what it feels like. Your movement's been, like, it's been fine. You know, obviously, I'm sure people would want to see more, like, you know, using your movement to go up into the air, things like that. But, like, it feels like it's right now is just you're not really balancing your damage boost and heal boost as much as you could. That could change very much. Like, I really think when your Bastion goes into turret form, if your teammates are at a decent HP, just do that. Your Bastion will just pop off. I'm watching. Don't be afraid to Valk this now. Keep the momentum. It's okay to be proactive with your ultimate rather than reactionary. Apparently everybody heard what I just said about that and has now decided to pop all their ultimates at once. I didn't necessarily mean like that, but we'll take it. It's better than not using the ult ever, waiting for the right moment. You know? Hey, I mean, listen, we'll take it, okay? We'll take it. But you notice how, like, this isn't a Mauga issue right now. But I know that that's become more of a hard focus, is like, oh, Mauga equals automatic win. Mirrored Mauga is the frustration point. Certain comps with Mauga can be tough, but, like, it's when Mauga just goes Mauga versus Mauga and has 25,000 damage. Rank is silver. Good damage boost here on the Bastion. This is what I'm talking about. This is good. Now you have the opportunity to kind of focus on somebody else for a second. There you go. This is... You see how your target priority is like... Or like your teammate priority and what you're doing has switched up a little bit. And it's actually... This is good. This is what I'm referencing. Like, now you're kind of getting to the idea of, okay, you know what? I'm gonna damage boost this hero. I'm gonna heal this hero. Like, now you're doing a little bit more of that, and you're seeing more value. Before, you were just you were just basically hard stuck on the tank, and that was it. Now you're seeing damage boosted Bastion, flying between your teammates. You know, you got out of a Reaper out there. Perfect. Going to the point there, I'm fine with. You're gonna reset anyway. So, like, you can see the difference in gameplay, right? But if you just sit there and don't ever just try to damage boost your teammates, you know what I mean? Like, you're just gonna get stuck on that the whole time. If you just rely on keeping your tank alive when nothing else happens. See what I'm saying? We'll see how it goes. Damage boost in a turret Bastion. Good job. You don't have to, like I said, if your Ramatra falls over during that, that's on your Ramatra. Look what happened. You damage boost your Bastion gets in a limb. Now you can go and help your Ramatra for a little bit because you have numbers. There's an Ana right next to you. Be careful. I would have probably reacted the same way, not recognizing there was an Ana just standing there in the middle of my team. Now you're in a good spot. Now you damage boost the Bastion. Bastion's getting a lot of limbs. Do you see what I'm talking about with the difference of balance here, where when you go into, like, pocketing your teammate rather than relying so much on, like, oh, we just need a Mauga? You don't need a Mauga right now. This is not a you need a Mauga situation. You see? Did Q is tank? I am currently in a spectated. I can't Q in the middle of a spectated. What rank is this? Silver. I want you to, like, when you end up watching this back, like, look at your difference in your first half of the game where you were so hard focused on just using your healing beam on your tank, and then you started to shift your gameplay to give it like a balance, and it only happened because your team started to snowball. But you want to keep that same type of play style throughout the whole game, not just because your teammates start to win. You see what I'm saying? So, but like, look at that first half. At what point was that an issue of the other team had a Mauga? Your team just had 18 seconds left on the clock after having a tough start. Like, this is not an issue of you need a Mauga. The other team is not running the most ideal comp. I mean, Kiriko, I will say Kiriko Zen could become difficult for your tank in a second, but I mean, truthfully, if you really want to make the Mauga have no fun, you just have an Ana Mercy right now, and then they'll really have no fun. But at the same time, you go Kiriko 2, which is also okay, so it's kind of like, yeah. Here we go. Your Bastion's out of position. Now, remember when I talked about in a previous VOD, if your teammate's that out of position, don't feel obligated to have to fly in there and save them because that's on your teammate at that point. Or going for a res like that. Truthfully, you're lucky that you didn't get rolled by the Junkrat there, but, like, you don't have to go for that res. That res is not something you need to go for. That is on your teammate at that point. That's on you. If your Bastion decides to go into the off angle near the side of the map near their team, that is on your Bastion, not you. And at times, like, and there's going to be teammates who are going to, and this is going to happen. I just want to point this out. You're going to have teammates that constantly go out of position and constantly think it's because you're not healing them that they're getting rolled. They're that Bastion sometimes. You see that Bastion? That's their position. Sometimes you will not be able to heal your teammate if they do that. And what ends up happening is you go in there to save them, then they get mad at you for dying there because you were trying to save them. Sometimes you have to look at what's going on and be like, no, that's on you. Listen, you're out of position right now. You'll be damage boosted when you get back, but I'd rather have you coming all the way from back and spawn back to our team than being over there and me trying to save you the whole time. It happens all the time. Your teammates are staggering right now too, by the way. All right, on to the second point. I just want to point out, just to go back, the reason why it's so important that in these situations when you're playing Overwatch, that if you have no way to win this map, you have two options: get out ASAP and get to a safe spot, or die in the cart right here. That gives you 2 team fights. Your teammates were in a good spot, then you ended up staggering out, and then they get the point for free. This is why it's so important that your teammates and you have a plan to either die in the cart or make sure you get out safely, not just like do that in-between game where you just end up getting staggered. It happens all the time, and that's how you lose points easily. All right? You have a Reaper now? So now, I want you to look at your comp. You're just going to heal your tank. That's a good luck. Have fun. It's like, your Reaper's in the back line. Your Somber's in the back line. Now you're back to healing your tank. Or damage boosting your tank. Because what else can you do now? I'm going to be real with you. I mean, you could... That's on your Ramatra. That's on your Ramatra. That's on your Ramatra. Heal your Ramatra now, though. Good job going into Valk there. Yeah, that's on your Ramatra. I'll give it to you because you're in Valk. Very risky, but I'll give it to you. Healing your Reaper's fine here. All right. What was the... Actually, I felt like, all things considered there, the Mercy played that okay. And I know that, like, you look at that and go, what are you doing there? Like, what's going on? But I'm going to be real with you. Like, think about this. One of their teammates was getting rolled. They all kind of spawned in different spots. Their Ramatra decided to run at their team like this. Played way too aggressive. The Junkrat was stuck in the hallway, so if the Mercy tries to fly through the window, the Mercy might get rolled by a random Junkrat shot just by going through the doorway. Manages to keep up their tank. Helps get a couple of limbs. Gets a res off that is risk-reward. But honestly, at that point, your team's already all in anyway, so if you go for the res, what's the worst that can happen? Your team loses it anyway. You get the res off. You survive the team fight. Now your teammate holds here. So I'm not saying it's a perfect, like, decision-making, but, like, I understood what they were going for. I don't know. Maybe I'm seeing that a little bit differently, but... Heal him up. Reaper's your priority of healing right now. Just for a second, then get your Ramatra. Okay, now just hold, get your Ramatra up fully. Do not try to res anybody aggressively right now. If your Ramatra decides to run in and gets rolled, that's on your Ramatra. Good job. Good decision making there. Well played. Am I saying res always, no matter what? Oh yeah, of course. I mean, if you don't fly into a team to go for a res, are you even playing the hero correctly? No, I mean, I'm telling you, it's okay for somebody not to get res. Like, it's, like, to give you an idea, whenever I play in top 500 games and I have a Mercy on my team and I see a Mercy not go for the res of me, what I usually do at this point is go, I just trust that the Mercy's vision of what they're seeing is going to be fine. I'm like, I look like I'm in a good res spot, but it doesn't mean it's a good res. So, like, I just kind of go with, hey, whatever works, whatever works. I'd rather the Mercy survive that and I come back than, like... Doesn't mean you can't go for, like, good reses, right? And doesn't mean the other team won't react to your reses and stop, like, a risky res. It just depends on the situation. Like, if two of your teammates die in the cart and they're all looking at you and you fly a cart and try to res them, it's probably not going to be a good res, right? But I've also seen it work. Garden Party, thanks for the tier 1. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. I'm watching. I mean, the priority right now is the team comp is not become as ideal for a Mercy. And I'm not saying, like, not to play Mercy here. I'm saying, like, it's just who are you going to end up pocketing? It's going to be a tank this time around because the Sombra's going to be in stealth. The Reaper likes to play in their back line. That's a good res, by the way. So the target probably ends up being mainly the Ramatra, unless the Reaper or the Sombra fall back into the back line. You see what I'm saying? Because those heroes you just can't consistently pocket. Baron, thanks for the 14 months. That's one. Thanks, appreciate it. Thanks. So there's different ones, different playstyles. Yeah, I mean, behind the wall for res is good though. So that I can agree with you. But I mean, it still was okay res. By the way, your teammates are staggering. This is why I say the best thing you can do is die in the cart rather than try to stagger out. Otherwise, you never get a team fight, and there's nothing you can do. That's where I'm going with this one. You see how this is going? Good job by your team. Like, otherwise, you have to. Okay, first of all, there is somewhere along the lines, someone either told that Sombra to always EMP cage fight, or they have decided they're always going to have EMP cage fight, because that is the second time I have seen a Sombra go in and EMP a cage fight when the fight's about to be over and there's no need to. Like, somewhere along the lines, like, someone's like, whenever you see a cage fight, EMP. And they have now taken that literal and have done it every time. Good damage boost.
Happy 2024.
Elk Hunter, thanks for 3 months. Thanks.
Love the VODs, definitely helps me improve my own games and helps me into high goals.
And you too, Snap. I'm glad to hear that. This is on your Ramatra if they don't back up. Ramatra needs to back up. Your whole team needs to back up. Your Ana, your Ramatra, everybody back up. Back up. Oh, no, way too late. Spending too much time trying to do damage. I'll explain that in a second. Your team just did the same thing. Your teammates try to get extra value when all they needed to do was back away. Once you back away, you can reset and then go with your plays. And that's on your team. That's not on you. And that right there is just your teammates decided to play too aggro. And then when they popped ultimates, your teammates had a really good time to disengage. Didn't disengage even remotely properly, which I don't necessarily expect. And then you lose. This is silver, yeah. We're still watching. All right, got the res off. I'm still watching here. Keeping your Bastion alive. Good job. Slight damage boost on the punches. Heal in. Yep. Problem is your Ramatra is just like tunnel vision. I can see what they're doing every single time. They really wanted that Junkrat. All the other damage outputs were not going to matter to them. Might be able to get a res off here if you have a chance. I don't know where the... Actually, no. You have to just keep it. Drop staying on point. All right. You can Valk in a second, but they have their ult. No, unlucky. That's just unlucky timing. Wow. Okay. Okay. Well, that was a tough one. Can you hold, though? There is a possibility you hold this and win this. There actually is a possibility, so that's what we like to see. Here we go. We're watching. Sigma now. Oh, you're trying. That's just unlucky. That's about as unlucky as it gets. Oh, okay. Well, that's just nothing you can do about that one. Okay, so just to like kind of talk about it very quickly because you were wondering on multiple things of this. One, did you lose this game because your tank didn't switch Mauga? No, absolutely not. That had nothing to do with it. Your teammates had a tendency to win a team fight and then just go give them free picks. Two, are you stuck in a rank? I think that you can improve by working on your healing and damage boost priority and not focus so hard on we need to get off Mauga. Straight up. Three, I forgot what the third thing was. In theory, if you can get better at your damage boost and healing boost priority, I think you will climb. But you need to be able to be consistent with how you're doing that because you started off the first half of the game. And basically, this is what I'm seeing happening. Are you ready? When your team is doing very well, like really good, snowball on the other team, winning team fights without having to take 5v5s, you're doing a really good job at healing and damage boost priority. When you're just playing and nothing's happening yet and nothing really is happening on either side, you start to kind of like stray away from that. And some of that can be on you. Some of that can be on the tank just playing too aggro. Some of that can be on your Echo not flying up into the air. There's multiple things. Oh, movement. I can't disagree. I think movement can definitely improve too. I sometimes will take the movement side of things and say that will also come with time. That will also come with time. Oh, and be careful of like the just go for a res to go for a res type of situation. You can go for risky reses. Just don't like make it your automatic reaction to be someone's there. I'm going for the res. I don't care if it's in the middle of the open. You know what I'm saying? There's a few things you can work on there, but like you definitely can climb. It's not like, I don't think you'll be stuck in silver. I just think like, there's like these small improvements you need to make, and then overall that will lead to much better results for your team. But once again, this wasn't because I'm out. Just want to point that out. If you like this video, make sure to like button, sub to all 3 YouTubes if you haven't. Pretty much every day uploads on all those channels, so if you haven't, stop by. If you want to submit your own spectate, look in the description below. You'll see my Discord. You can submit there. Also follow everything in the description. We also record these live on stream. If you look below the webcam, you can see the Twitch chat right there. We have a lot of fun here. Stop by if you haven't. And with that being said, it'll be an amazing day /night.